So if you guys want more pizza after the show, I can make more pizza. But if you're full, then you're full. What's that? All right, we're going to get started now. All right, everybody quiet. Quiet on the set. Got to bring the camera up. That's what you got to do. Hey, my friends, it's Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California. I'm so happy to be here with you. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so everybody stay tuned. Get a glass of wine. Get a glass of whiskey or water or bubbly, whatever it is that you're drinking these days. And we're going to go through some stuff that's really important. I'm going to be talking about what's going on at Yorba High School, the Placentia Yorba Unified School District, and some things from the meeting last night. I have some of my in-the-field reporters who reported back to me what happened at the meeting last night that you're going to want to hear. And I have, coincidentally, the information of the event I was at last night was at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills with Pastor Jack and Charlie Kirk. I have a couple snippets of that clearly and directly apply to what's happening at the Placentia Yorba School District, along with Yorba High School. So do not miss any of that stuff. It's all important. I'm going to do my best to get through it as quickly as possible, but I want to make sure and be thorough and discuss why it's important that we need to be involved in local politics. Whether or not you have children in schools, you also need to be involved in the school district, in the school board. There's some shenanigans going on. They've gotten far too comfortable. If we were to talk about the left and the right just a little bit, and I know people get a little crazy when we start throwing politics into school boards and school districts, but it clearly has become an issue. When we talk about the teachers' unions, especially in Los Angeles, they are clearly not for students. They are clearly for some other agenda. It has nothing to do with the education of the children in the Los Angeles school district. We've seen it. They are more concerned about defunding police departments, which they completely defunded the school police in Los Angeles, an entire police department. They were successful in completely disbanding a police department in Los Angeles, which has nothing to do with our children. And then so we here in Orange County, and those of you that are in other cities and other states across our great country, you need to be listening to what we're going to be talking about tonight, because this is just not happening here and just not happening in Los Angeles. This is happening where you live. And again, I don't care if you have school-age children, if you are a grandparent and have grandchildren in the school, if you are parentless, if you are childless. Wow, that was really weird. I just had a stroke. If you are childless and have no children at all, it's still important. And I promise you, throughout the show, I will be able to show you reasons why you, as a citizen of a community, need to be involved in everything locally. Everything locally is in play, because it's locally where we begin to lose control of our country. And so we need you to make sure and stay connected. Those of you that are patriots, hey, Don, nice seeing you. Yeah, pizza for the kids. Yep. The health food. It's healthy pizza, by the way. Yeah. Thank you for that. Hey, what I want you to do before you do anything else is go to patriotcoms.org. If you can't, because you're on your phone and your phone doesn't allow you to go to other websites, then wait. But write it down or memorize it or come back and watch the replay. But go to patriotcoms.org, and I want you to put your name and email address in there. I think it's going to ask for email address to start with, and then eventually your name and a password. And so you're going to want to go there to make sure that we can stay in contact with you, because it's not going to be long before I am taking off this platform along with Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time right now. And at some point, this will not last. As we know that anybody that has a Christian conservative point of view, they are being taken down from these platforms. So go to patriotcomms.org, put in your email address, and then click the button, and then you'll be asked for your name and email address, or name, and then create a password. That will get you into our system, so that we can send you an email with a newsletter and information about where it is we're going to be. I do have a podcast where I put up the recordings of this particular broadcast. I'm a little bit behind, I got to tell you right now. I was busy getting engaged and then married and a whole bunch of other stuff. So there was a lot happening. So I'll catch up and get the episodes updated. But just all you need to do, though, is go to patriotcomms.org. We got a lot of stuff going. Hedium and I have a ton of things that we're being offered with a website called Christians.com. If you go to Christians.com, we're discussing some projects with Christians.com. I have other people that are asking me to get involved in other Christian conservative platforms, and I'm telling you, this may be a good thing. The Democrats may have done us all a favor, right? They just put us on fire. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take down this frame, but go ahead and remember patriotcomms.org, patriotcomms.org. All right. So make sure and write that down. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm not sure what he's, but I have a feeling I know what he's talking about. We'll talk about that later. This show is not about that right now. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a little bit of a recording. I've told you in the past videos that in regard to the Yorba Linda High School and the Placentia Yorba Linda School District, is that there's a recording of a teacher, Susan Metcalf, encouraging students to help her in her and again, these are accusations, so I want to make sure that that's clear. However, what we've discovered is this is happening. And there's been Instagram pages created, Facebook pages created, where she has had a hand, along with another individual by the name of, oh my gosh, where's my notes? Is it Mitzi? Other people. All right. So other adults. A teacher at Yorba Linda High School named Susan Metcalf has been encouraging students to disparage one of the school board members who just recently got elected, and has done everything possible to get a groundswell of students, children, our children, to create hateful messages, to speak about Leandra Blades, who is the school board member, in such disparaging ways to almost intimidate her into resigning and encouraging her to resign, even hoping that she would die in some of the messages that I'd seen. And then they've also talked about starting a recall. And this is a teacher at Yorba Linda High School who lost to her in the school board election. And so you have this person who not only is, hold on, where's my frame here? A teacher, but she's been encouraging people to encourage her to resign, not based on job performance, because she just got elected. There, at the time that this all started, she probably not even had been involved in a meeting. And in the first meeting, they didn't talk about anything consequential, which would cause for a legitimate recall and based on the job performance. And then we have they're talking about in this phone call that I'm going to share a little bit with you, that they want to dig up dirt, that she's asking the students that she's been given responsibility for teaching, also now asking them to help her dig up dirt on this particular woman, this particular school board member. Sorry about that. And accusations are all over the place, from her being a terrorist to her being a bigot to her being just a horrible person, not a nice person. I know Leandra, she's a very nice person. I'm not sure where she got that from, but again, they don't care about facts. They don't care about truth. It's how many different different names can we give this? But we can call her a homophobe. We can call her a racist. We can call her a white privileged person. You can call these names, but the accusations are hodgepodge. It has nothing to do with job performance, especially when you have to dig up dirt. And then the accusations are hyperbolic because she happened to go to Washington, D.C. at the same time that President Trump was giving his last speech. Now, suddenly she's a terrorist, right? Now, suddenly she's the most horrible person on the planet. And so we have these accusations that are completely hyperbolic. And the biggest point that we have to point out here is that this is being done by Susan, who is the loser to Leandra Blades in the election for the school board position. So that takes away all of her credibility. All right. And so these are the things that are so important. So let me go ahead and I'm going to play a little bit of the recording. And what I want you to listen to is that, again, regardless of how cooperative the student is being to Susan Metcalf in this particular recording, that is not the point. All right. So again, you have a teacher who lost an election and yet is a sore loser and now is trying to get students within her school and around the school and other schools in the surrounding area to create a campaign against the winner, the person who beat her. And so you can get lost in the fact that the student is saying, well, yeah, she is a horrible person. Yes, but again, that's not what we paid this teacher for as taxpayers for this community. I'm not paying for her to encourage a student to dig up dirt on the person she lost to in the school board. I'm paying her to teach our children about, I think it's English in this case, right? That is important. So let me go ahead and play this for you. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up, and I'm gonna mute my mic. So if you see my mouth moving, it's because my mic is muted. It's only to stop the echo that's going to be happening. So here's just a tidbit of what you're going to hear it's a lengthy recording, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play this one part. And again, just keep in mind that this is a teacher talking to what she believes to be is a student.
You're not doing this for your college applications, but what you guys are doing is going to make you guys stand out when you do apply to colleges, because you're literally like taking active part in democracy and you're stepping up as citizens. Like, it's really impressive. And I think whoever's behind this website should seriously consider a career in journalism or politics or something, because you guys are very smart. You're very well spoken on these sites, much more so than the parents that post crazy insults. You guys have been fantastic, truly.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that we have your support.
100%. Just don't tell anyone.
Of course not.
And I won't tell anyone either.
Okay, thank you.
I just was very cool. I'm like, if someone asks me about Leandra, I'm like, she is a mean person. Like, my students, when we were running, I never even told my kids I was running, because my students I was running, because it's just not appropriate for me to talk about in class. And then they started seeing signs, and they asked me about the other people, and I just spoke from a personal standpoint that she was not a nice person to me.
I mean, that's understandable. She's not a nice person in general, so.
Exactly. So, great. So I will hang up with you real quick and text you a bunch of things, and then we'll keep in touch. And definitely, like I said, Misty's page that she's made me a co-person on, we're going to be covering that board meeting. So if someone's following us, you could say, like, on there, like the night before, if you can't make this meeting, we want to see. Apparently, this page is, you can pretend like you don't know us. It'll be broadcast on this Facebook page.
Okay, so I'll join it.
See it too.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll go ahead and post about it on the account.
I'm sorry?
I'll go ahead and post about the board meeting on the account once I join the Facebook and everything, just so everything will be out there.
Yeah, perfect. Well, very nice speaking with you.
You too.
Hang up with you and send you stuff. And yeah, text me anytime or call me.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Metcalf.
Oh, you're welcome. Honestly, you guys are awesome. I'm really, really impressed. Like, it gives me hope when I first started seeing things over the weekend. Like, it gives me hope for our future. I even said to my daughter, who's in 8th grade, I'm like, she and her friends started looking at it, and I'm like, this makes me happy that you guys, just that people are paying attention, young people, because I'm like, in 30 years from now, I'm going to be in an old folks home, and you guys are going to be running the country, and it makes me super proud and optimistic that, like, as teenagers, you guys are paying attention to things and thinking logically and critically about shared values and what it means to be tolerant and accepting. And so, yeah, whatever I can do to help you guys, whatever the results, I'm super proud of you guys.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Whatever I can do to help you guys disparage a duly elected school board member. I will send you this stuff. And I'm so proud of you for being a person who's disparaging a duly elected school board member. This is coming from the loser of the campaign, who is a teacher at the high school. It's just like, and again, this is you're only listening to a small part of this conversation. And so I reached out and see, these are the updates I want to give you. These are the updates. It's just, oh my gosh, tolerant and accepting, right, Hedia? Tolerant and accepting. Oh. This is what they do, right? We know this. We know that this is what the left does. This is what these people do, is that they sit there and they claim that you're a racist, and the entire time they're the racist. They claim that they want you to be tolerant, and yet they are intolerant. They want you to be accepting, but they surely do not accept you for who you are. It's just, they are just completely, I just listen, it enrages me with her left. Oh, she's a horrible person. Oh, what? You're a little bit crazy there, Susan. So I reached out. Sorry, I'm gonna, and I try to tone it down. I know I'm supposed to not disparage the people I'm talking about the best that I can, but listen to me. I've listened to this whole thing. This will be like the fourth time I listened to the entire thing, and this is probably the fifth time I listened to that snippet. And I want you to understand. Now, listen, we're not talking about a conversation between two liberals who would be, lunatics. This is a teacher talking to a person that she, of course, believes or knows is a student of in the area. And she knows the other children that she's encouraging. Oh, I'm so hopeful. I'm going to send you stuff to help in the disparagement of this citizen, a former police officer who was responsible for anti-terrorism at in the LA County area, who married to a firefighter who wanted to make a difference in our community, to be a school board member. That she's encouraging a student to disparage an American hero who wants to do the right thing for his students, and laughing and giggling about it. That this is great that you're helping me do this. I'm the loser. I lost to this woman, and I need you to help me disparage her and talk about her being a horrible person. It really is. It's a disgusting matter. And so I reached out to the school district. Sorry, so I'm going to get a little bit angry as we go forward. I need Hedia. As long as I see you're on here, I'm going to do my best, because Hedia is my balance. But she brought it out on that. I'll take it really my ass. No critical thinking or abstract thought until you're 20. Absolutely, we know this, right, Angie? We know that a child's brain is not fully developed until they're 20. So here she's manipulating a child who can be easily manipulated because of the place that they are in their age. And then of course Don says this, tell a lie enough and it becomes the truth. And so I'm going to show you here a statement that the Placentia Yorba School District sent me. I reached out, as I've told you. I reached out to them, asked for an interview of the supervisor, the school district supervisor, or superintendent. I can't remember what they call him. Superintendent, the principal at Yorba High School, the principal, the interim principal at Yorba High School, and the teacher. I've sent emails out to all of them requesting an interview so they could tell us their side of the story. Talking about what is it that do they agree? Do they allow a teacher to talk with students in order to disparage the teacher's rival, so that possibly they can try to get them to either resign or to have them recalled after a certain period of time. And I finally got a reply. I had to email them a couple times to get a reply. And this is the reply: the school district declines your request to have Dr. Jim E. Lasser or Dr. Rich Din or any other district school administrator appear on your show. The district does not provide comment on any personnel related matters. What about What about, and this is from Alyssa Griffiths, who is the public and media relations specialist. And you can go to the website there if you want to and say, we want to hear from Dr. Jim. We want to hear from Dr. Richard, Dr. Whatever, doctor. Are they really doctors? Have they operated on anybody? That's what I want to know. Did they actually go in and this is the thing that we need to start looking into. And this is where I'm so interested. Again, I'm going to also tell you that I'm a parent of children that are in the Placentia Yorba School District. They are all the way in from 7, 10, 12, 14. Then 26. My oldest daughter went through the same school system. But the 4 are all currently in the school district. I want to know what the credentials are of these people that are making these decisions. They decided that, hey, I'm not going to talk to you because you're a Facebook show or a YouTube show, that I'm not CNN, that I'm not MSM, I'm not Fox, whatever. But I surely am a parent, Dr. Richard and Dr. Jim and whoever else may be involved. I'm a parent. I don't have a right to understand what it is, what your role is, what your position is on a teacher encouraging children to disparage a school board member who was duly elected, who has done nothing yet within her position of the school board membership. I remind you. Do you remember the list I just showed you at the beginning? She had time. She had not been there. But what is she? Oh, it'd be like the school really loves the local hockey team, right? The Anaheim Ducks or the Los Angeles Kings. She's a Blackhawks. What? She's a Blackhawks fan? I don't know if Leandra is. I think Leandra is actually a Ducks fan. But if she were, she can't be a Ducks fan. We're going to disparage her, and she needs to resign. These are the crazy. The crazy thoughts that go through some of these people, that you can have simply a different thought, a different team that you root for, a different political person that you happen to be for. But how is it that it affected her job? I'm going to tell you how, Leandra. I'm going to get to that. You're going to see what kind of school board member Leandra is. All right, you're going to see the distinct difference. What they are afraid of is how effective she's going to be. That's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of what she might do that will hurt the kids, although that's what they're going to tell you. I'm going to share with you some things that's going to show you how effective she is on making our schools better. In just 1 second. That is what they're afraid of. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail about that. All right, so I just want you to understand. So right now, I'm going to share who the school board members are at our school district. I know I'm getting a lot of messages right now, and I want you to comment. I would love to see every comment, negative, positive. I don't care. Send me every comment. I especially love the bad comments, the comments that I've been called a bigot since I've been doing the show. I've been called a racist. I've been called a hateful person. I've been called a lot of different names. So I don't care. I'm so sorry. I'm going to take out this coat. So sorry if it got really hot all of a sudden around here. And so I want all your comments. Those of you that are watching that don't agree, I want you to make sure, and I want to hear your disagreement. It's really important that I hear that so that I can address your disagreement. Let me look at a couple comments really quick here. Come on, man. They don't work for you. My wife is a doctor. All right. Tell them you're CNN. You'll get the interview. Fox will be off the air soon. Yeah. Hey, Kaiser. Adentis. Hello. What do we got here? I'm not sure what that is. What is that? Anybody see? Is that tacos? What is that? I don't know. Go Ducks. All right. Sorry. So that was some of my Twitch fans. I may be having a hot flash. All right. So let's get back to the topics here. So we have these school board members, and we're going to discuss them a little bit and bring them to the stream. Hey, Bev, nice to see you. And we have Karen Freeman, who is the president of the Board of Education here for the school board for the Placentia Yorba School District. Right, that's where we are. There we are. I want to scroll down so you can see it. Placentia Yorba School District. We got Karen Freeman. I will share this link in the comments as soon as I get a chance. It has her email on it. It has how long she's been a trustee area 4, how long she's been in, first elected in 1989. What the hell? Okay. Are there term limits? Term of office was 2018 to 2022 is her term right now. Wow. Since 1989, since I was in high school. All right. So we got Gary Buck, since first elected 2010, area 5. Then we got Marilyn Anderson, who is as far as I know, a conservative, who just recently got elected in 2020. And then we have our friend Leandra Blades, who everybody hates, apparently, according to the left, which is not true. Everybody loves her. She's amazing and fantastic. And then we have Sean Youngblood, another conservative on the board, Christian conservative, just got elected. Now I know, again, I got called out the other day because I said something, since when are school board members, running based on, their political platform? Listen, we know, we know that the school board doesn't run on a Republican or Democrat necessarily. That's not what it's. But we know who they are, right? What they're running, we just know based on some things. So I'm telling you, there's 3 of them who have ran on essentially a conservative platform, and so you got 3 of them, and you got 3, I believe, of the other side. All right, and so those are the members. So I cannot, unfortunately, play a portion of the meeting that took place last night. The meeting that took place last night was about an hour and a half based on the people that I have reporting to me. And the recording I have is just a horrible quality. You can barely hear. You can see Leanne talking. You can see they're there. Everybody's masked up, and you got phones that are about 20 feet away. I'm going to tell you, if there's anybody watching that can confirm anything that I'm saying or discuss what I'm saying and tell me whether I'm making it up or not, I'm more than happy for you to do that. But so sorry. I want to make sure you understand that I would play the audio from the meeting of the different things I'm going to be talking about, except for you would not be able to hear it. I've tried and I listened to it. It's just not going to work. There's no way I can bring it up. All right. So I'm going to tell you that the meeting was about an hour and a half. You had, from my reporting, and I have notes here that I took from all the people that I talked to today, that you had the first hour, give or take a few minutes, that was discussed on essentially just mundane issues in regard to the school board itself. The budget, that there was a new student board member coming on board, and introduced who that person was. I think the person might have been there. The student might have been there. Talked about that for a while. Talked about, hey, we got these conferences coming up. We got these blah, blah, blah. It was nothing to do, at least the first hour, from what I understand, that had anything directly to do with any of our schools directly. If you understand what I'm telling you, that it's just mundane, just stuff that has to do with the school board. Then comes the time where each board member is able to bring up a topic. You get on the mic, and you begin to, okay, this is what we want. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I think we should be doing. These are the changes we should be making. These are the gripes I'm hearing from parents. These are the gripes I'm hearing from teachers. There's a moment of time where you have the opportunity as a person that we voted for, the parent voted for you to do your job for us, for your students that we're responsible for. There's a portion of time where you have this opportunity at a time when we have a pandemic, we have sports shut down, we have people that do not trust you, elected people. We have people that do not trust the media who's reporting on what you people are doing. We have a whole lot of stuff going on right now. Maybe in another era, another time, you could have just sat there and talked about, well, we made 4 cakes for the cake bake, and we had a fair over at Golden Elementary that went really well. Like, there's a time for that. Right now, this is not the time to sit there and talk about the cake bake. All right. So let's talk about what I heard. Again, this is being reported to me. If there's anything that I'm telling you that's not right, then you make sure and let me know. Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you. So here we go. We have Nancy Costa. You're pretty stupid to listen to Leandra's bullshit. She's flip flops with her stories. There you go. Thank you. I am so thankful for Nancy. We need Nancy's and Karen's. Sorry, there's a couple Karens that I'm friends with, and I'm so sorry that I said that. But thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you very much. That is exactly what we need. Is to understand where you're coming from. These are the people right here. The Nancys. Where's my other finger? There. These are the Nancys. This is what we're dealing with. Does any of this? Did she say again? Does this address a policy? Does this address an educational issue in regard to how well our students are being taught in school? Does this statement right here? And again, I'm going to go through some other statements in just a minute. Does this statement here address what's going on with my child who can't play any sports right now because they don't play sports currently in the junior high school level or even in the elementary? I mean, there's limitations in all these areas. But this person, whoever this is, I don't know if it's a student. I don't know if it's a parent. But right here, I'm pretty stupid. I am. Right. I am pretty stupid to listen to Leandra's bullshit. She's flip-flops with her story. What stories is she flip-flopping with? Based on, again, you're going to say that she flip-flops on the fire extinguisher, that she flip-flops on whatever other stories, right? I want to know what stories she flip-flops on in regard to my children that are in schools. So Nancy, let's hear this, what it is that you have to say here. Oh, there's a good one. Stupid as stupid does. Wow, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. You can quote movies. So far, we're on a roll. And this is, and I'm so thankful for Nancy. Can we get another Nancy? What else do you have to say? I want to know what Nancy has to say. Nancy has been baiting for Susan all day. Oh, there she is. There she is. Her Washington story and all through her campaign, nothing but lies. Tell us a lie. I want to know the lies. I've looked into the lies, by the way, Nancy. I've looked into what you are saying is a lie. But what is her having to go to Washington, D.C. to support the president of our United States, one of the greatest presidents in our history? What does her going to Washington, D.C. have to do with what she's doing as a school board member in the first three meetings? Or I think it's been the three meetings. What are the things she's done in the first three meetings that she has done that has caused you so much grief that you berate her and call her BS? That's what I want to know. That I'm really interested in what you have to say. Batting, you dumbass, not baiting. Okay. Where's Nancy's profile? Let me find Nancy on Facebook. I'm going to open up another page here. Let's find Nancy. Let's see what she's got going on. So forgive me for a moment. I just need to find out because Nancy apparently is extremely intelligent. Nancy, what is her name? Nancy what? Gouda something. Gouda. Nancy Gouda. Oh, she may have blocked me. So could somebody pull her up, please? Send me her. Oh no, I'm bringing it up wrong. Hold on. I don't know. I don't have my glasses. The font is so small. Oh, Nancy. Oh, wrong. I got too many people. Sorry. Sorry, one. Sorry, Angie. I cross-referenced Costa. I'm going to get it at some point. Why was it not coming up? Costa. Oh, because she has those things. Cohen. Let's see. I got her with a mutual friend. Oh, why would she come up? Post. Let's find post by Nancy. Sorry, guys. This isn't as easy as it looks. I just wanted to see who Nancy was. Oh, she's so ashamed of herself. She's so ashamed of herself that she can't. Oh, Costa Green. All right, let me try that. Nancy Costa Green. I hope you guys don't mind me. Got Nancy Green. Yeah, I don't know what she did. She might have pulled down her site already. And I don't want to pull up the wrong person, and I want to make sure it's the correct person. People. Yeah, nothing's coming up. Sorry, guys. I want to know who Nancy was. Where'd she go? Nancy, where are you? Nancy, come back. Nancy. The font is small. Oh, actually, I could make it bigger. So I'm a dumbass. So that's not the first time I've been called dumbass today. It'll happen again. Sorry about that. I kind of transgressed. I wanted to find out who Nancy was. I mean, it would have been important because apparently she has credibility, right? Because so far she's come up with nothing other than I'm a dumbass, and that what else did she say? Baiting, dumbass, not bait. I don't know. What do I know? I don't care. Her Washington story is what I don't understand what the Washington story has to do with anything. That's the whole point, right? That it really is the whole point. Her profile is blocked. Well. See, I mean, that's the thing. You come on and you say a bunch of crap and then you hide. That's who we're dealing with. Right. And this is the thing that we're doing with Susan Metcalf, is she's hiding behind children that, again, she's been entrusted to teach, not use as pawns in her desire to overthrow an election in regard to the school board. Right. That's apparently she thinks that that's her new job and her new role. But she decided that she wanted to run. So sorry. I thought that was really important to try to find out who Nancy was, because she came on, right? She took the time to tell us who she was, and her credibility is important to understand her stance and what is she talking about. All right. So let me get back to the school board meeting. And I'm so sorry that I took that little detour, but I was really hoping to find out who Nancy was. So you got Karen Freeman, who apparently is the president, right? She's the president of the school board. She had her opportunity to come on and talk about what she was going to do as the president of the school board for the Placentia Yorba School District, what she had planned coming into this very difficult time that we have in our schools, with no sports and our teachers maybe possibly being mandated to have forced testing, to the difficulty of so many children committing suicide. I talked to you yesterday or the day before yesterday about 4 people that I know who have children who've committed suicide, which is far is greater than sorry, I couldn't think of the word there. Is greater than the number of children that have died of COVID. We have far more children dying from suicide, from mental health issues, and probably from other issues than we have from COVID-19. So you would think Kathy Freeman, president of the school board, the president of the Placentia Yorba School District School Board, she would have some fantastic things to say, and maybe some thoughts on how we can begin to open the schools so some of these kids that are struggling with mental issues and struggling with their education, how we can make it better for them. But no, she came on, she discussed how she joined another school board. And at some point, what I'm hearing is that she also talked about social justice issues. That's what I'm hearing. If that's not true, Karen, come on and let me interview you and let me hear about what it is that you think that we should be doing about opening our schools. Because I've emailed the school district, I've emailed the school board, I've emailed the school and said, I want to hear, what is it you're going to do? But only thing I have are my reporters reporting to me that at a time that you had an opportunity at the school board meeting last night to tell us how you are wanting to help our children become more educated or deal with the issues that are happening because of this shutdown, how it is that you as a school board member want to help things. Maybe start our sports again. Maybe be more accountable for what it is you're doing and the teachers are doing. I don't know. I want to hear that, but I didn't want to hear how you joined another school board. You're doing a lousy job. So sorry. A lousy job, apparently being the president of this school board. Why would you join another school board? And what are you doing to social justice? What does that have to do with what's happening with our kids right now in the pandemic? Social justice issues, if that's what you were talking about. That's what I heard you were talking about, that it's possible that you were. I don't know for sure. So that's the president, apparently, of the Placentia Yorba School Board. And then we have Carrie Buck. I'm not sure what she talked about because I wasn't able to get a good feel. Let me see if I got a response from one of my reporters on the scene. Let's see if I heard anything. No, I haven't heard anything back yet. Apparently, it wasn't dynamic because nobody knows. The people that I asked, if anybody was there last night, I can't. Got my people. Oh yeah, people are getting blocked and all kinds of stuff. If anybody knows what Carrie, the vice president, talked about, we don't know. But apparently it wasn't much. It had to do with nothingness about procedures or about stuff that really did not address anything that I talked about. So Carrie apparently failed us also, did nothing in regard to let's see how we can move forward. What's the next steps at our school? Our school board apparently so far with the president and the vice president decided that we're gonna go to this meeting. We're gonna waste people's hour and a half time, and we're going to just talk about procedural stuff. The budget. How much more money can we get? How much longer can we keep the school closed so that we don't have to work as long as we really need to? I don't know. Which I'm. So the vice president led us down to. No, I wouldn't block anybody. I love debate. And he knows I love debate. Okay, and so let's go back to the next one. Who was next? Next on the agenda apparently was Marilyn Anderson, one of our conservative friends. And you're thinking, wow, we got a conservative on the school board. How great is that? Another one of us. So Marilyn gets up apparently to the mic and she goes, hello, I don't know if she did this. I'm making stuff up right now. I went to some of the schools and visited them. All right. So that's it, Marilyn. You visited a couple of the schools in the district and you found them to be, they're doing so good. They're wearing their masks. They are they're learning, and some of them are on Zoom. Thanks, Marilyn. Nice job. We're glad that we got you. We helped you get voted in there, that we gave you a platform and I interviewed you. I may have been. I don't know if I can't remember. I may have interviewed you. I don't know. But good job, Marilyn. Thanks for looking out for my kids. I really do appreciate you. So much that, but at least you had visited the schools. I'm going to give you that. So hopefully we'll get a report at the next school board meeting of what you took away that needs work. Right. I don't need you to tell me that the kids are wearing masks. I don't need to tell. I know of the schools at Golden Elementary. I love the teachers at Golden Elementary. They're amazing. My children have had some of the most amazing teachers at Golden Elementary. The principal and the vice principal are amazing people. They've done nothing but serve my children well. I love those people. But what are we doing to get the school open? What are we doing to get some sports going on in our junior high and our high schools? You visited them. That's great. I know that the teachers and the principal and the vice principal and the staff in the office are fantastic. I know they are. I know them. I was vice president of the PTA. Nothing much happened because of the pandemic hit, but I know them. They are amazing, spectacular people. They too, I think in many cases, some of them that I talk to, I'm not going to tell you because they'll get in trouble, is that they think this is ridiculous. They think opening these stinking schools up. They have students that are thinking about committing suicide, having mental health. But Marilyn, come on. You visit a couple of schools. What else? What beyond they're doing a good job? I know that my school, my teachers that my kids go to are doing the best job possible. But I know that many of them despise the fact that they are having to do these things in a way that they're doing them. And they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. I know that. Now what? Now what are you going to do, Marilyn? What's next? Then we have Sean Youngblood, another conservative. Sean, dude, I visited with you. I shook your hand. I was proud to have you talk on my show. I interviewed you. But Sean got up there and said, according to my reporters, said nothing. Sean had nothing to say. What have you been doing? What have you been doing, Sean? What? You have nothing to say? What? How do you have nothing to say? We elected you. You are you're responsible for my kids, Sean. How do you get up to the mic and go, I have nothing to say? Drop the mic. What? Do you not know what's going on? What? What? You say, listen, this is what we need to do. We need to do something. Children are dying. Children are dying of not of COVID. Children are dying of suicide. Children are struggling educationally. Educational wise, I don't know. I obviously am struggling educationally, but I don't want my children to. They need to be better than me. They need to be more educated than me. They need to be more successful than me. I need my children to be better in every way possible than me. So, Sean, you get a chance to go to the mic and you said nothing? Okay there, Sean. Thanks a lot. Glad I voted for you. Glad I checked that box for you to go up there and say nothing and do nothing. Are you going to be that? You're going to be a do nothing, say nothing your entire time on the school board? How about not do that? Is this a new one? Did I miss this one? And I won't follow a dumbass who supports Leandra. Dang it, Nance. Oh, look at now suddenly her picture doesn't show up anymore. What happened? You remember there was a picture there before? She ran like a little school scared. That's what they do. They're like little cockroaches. You turn on the lights and they run. They hate light. Right? They love darkness. Nancy loves darkness. Now all of a sudden the light was shined on and Nancy disappeared. And her little image next to her name has now disappeared. And I won't follow a dumbass who supports Leandra. Okay, Nancy, whatever. Marilyn is being praised highly by Misty and her posse. Misty is, again, a supporter of the teacher who lost, who thinks it's wise to use students to create chaos and try to get to put enough pressure on Leandra to resign. Leandra's not resigning, by the way. That's not going to happen. A friend of mine there. We went to high school. We went to elementary school together, junior high school, and high school. David Chambers. Nice to see you, my buddy. I know you'll be running for school board soon. Well, I don't know about that. That's maybe. I don't know. Sean had nothing to report. Again, these are my. I don't know, Angie. Maybe we've met. I'm so sorry, Angie, if we met. We probably did. I'm not even sure. I'm recognizing the name now that I look at it. But I think we just became friends. There's nothing to report. What do you mean nothing to report, bruh? How do you have nothing to report? What have you been doing? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna have Sean. I think I hit him hard enough. I want to see what he's going to do. I'll be at the next meeting, I hope. I couldn't go last night because I was at the other event. Don't get involved until they know which way the wind blows. Very good. I'm so sorry, Angie. I'm so sorry. I meet so many people. So let's see. Now, who do I have last? Let's see. I think it might be Leandra. So Leandra gets on the mic, has an opportunity to talk to the group, to the crowd that was there, which was like 5 people. And after these other school board members, see how good? I actually have a filter from time to time. So you have these other people that got voted in. You have one that's been there since 1989. You got the vice president, and then you got Marilyn, and you got Sean Youngblood that we voted in and said, let's do something, buddy. And he said nothing. And then you have Leandra. And this is the person. Now, let me just share with you. Let me just take you back. I want to do a little bit of a review where we've been and where we're going to go. We have a teacher, a school teacher, who says that Leandra is a communist, that she is a bigot, that she's a horrible person, that that we're going to try to find as many students that I can find that I should be teaching, but instead I'm going to be using them as pawns to help create chaos and hopefully get enough pressure on Leandra to resign, because we're going to get them to say that she's horrible, that she should die, and all these other horrible things. All right, and so this is who they're attacking. Leandra has the opportunity to get up on the mic, and she starts with one of the things, which she starts with. I'm adding the part. One of the most important things. One of the things that I think needs to be done, and I agree with her 100%, that any one of these other dimwits could, one of these other people could have said, is that she suggests that live streaming the school board meetings would be great for transparency. That way the parents can see what the school board is actually talking about, what it is they're doing. Wait, one sec. What? Wait, we had people talk about, I went to visit some schools. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to report. I want to talk about how I joined another school board place that I'm also going to do nothing at. And then you have the very first thing she says, let's do live streaming. Let's put this live. Let people see what goes on in these meetings. Hey, what? Is that why she's a communist? A communist does not want to be seen doing their horrible deeds. And you're sitting here calling Leandra Blaze a communist, that she's trying to overthrow the government by attending the Trump rally? Is that what a communist does? Is that what a Marxist does? That they want you to see exactly what happens in government? No. The answer would be no. Leandra comes on, the very first thing, and she says is, let's do live streaming at the school board meeting so we can be transparent in what it is that we are doing for the children of our community, that the parents have voted for us to do, and that is to do something positive for the education of our children. Let's do it live. Let's talk about these things. She didn't say, let's continue to, you know what? Let's not even have people watching like we have people like in the room. Like there were a couple of people watching that had to, no, she's for more transparency. Have you ever heard a communist in any country up, as far as we can go, as far as our history go, that wants more transparency? No, the answer would be no. So just leave that alone. Next thing she wants to do, she wants to evaluate the potential policy on mandatory COVID testing. This is not being done for any other surrounding schools or school districts. Do the teachers and staff feel comfortable with mandatory testing when the PPE is as strong as it is for the school district? This is one of the things, and that isn't verbatim, but that's pretty much what I took from my notes because I listened to her speech and what she gave. And that, again, you've said that this person is a tyrant, right? Susan Metcalf and the other chick, what's the other chick's name? Mitzi or Ditzy or whatever her name is. Hold on, I got to look for that comment. Marilyn, Misty. Misty is another one of those people. Those people are saying that she is a tyrant, that she's a communist, that she's a horrible person. And here she is thinking for the teachers and saying mandatory testing for all the teachers. Do the teachers want this? Right. Again, when you're calling somebody names, when you're saying that somebody is a horrible, nasty, you want to be able to show that you can back it up with things that she says. Here you are, before she even had an opportunity to show who she is as a school board member, you're calling her all these things, and the first thing she does, and then the first two things to show you that she's the complete opposite of what you're claiming that she is. She wants transparency and have these broadcasts live so you can hear what Leandra says. You can hear what Marilyn says. You can hear that Sean has nothing to say. and then she's like going, hey, mandatory COVID testing? I don't know that we want that. I don't think the teachers want it. Let's ask the teachers. Did you ask the teachers what they want? Do they want to have this mandatory testing? It's complete opposite of what you're calling her. All right, let's go. She had something else to say. Right? She didn't stop there. We're just getting started. She said school board, she would suggest that they start here at the Placentia Yorba School District, a school board advisory committee to have eyes and ears at each school site to know what is working and what is not working. That would mean more transparency from somebody you're calling a communist Marxist traitor to the country. And she's saying, let's put an advisory committee together. Let's get a few parents, a few people that are out there in the schools looking at what's going on and saying, that's not this isn't working. This thing is now, this is fantastic. What they're doing here is fantastic. And taking that committee, getting together and now having a report that they could give at these meetings at the school board and say, let's hear what the advisory committee has to say. The advisory committee could then come in and say, at this school and this school and this school, these things are working really well. But at this school, we're having a problem with bullying. Right. And we don't think that we have enough guards in place. Potentially, we need a new counselor or a different counselor, or maybe more counselors because the counselor's overwhelmed with the issues in this particular section that may help in this school. This school has a specific bullying problem, or these schools don't have an advisory committee. Again, is adding a potential a level of transparency and necessary understanding of how each school is running differently based on the community that it's serving. And that's Leander Blades. That wasn't Sean, who had nothing to say. That wasn't the president, who's been there since 1989, who apparently has done nothing. But I don't know what she's done. And so you have Leander Blades saying, what do you think about an advisory committee? I think this would be a good idea, especially now when there's so much uncertainty about what's going on. Are we making the right decisions? We have so many children that are committing suicide. We have so many children that are being abused in their homes, and now they can't come here to report, or the teachers can't see them, in other words, to identify children that are being abused. How are we going to address that? These are the things that Leander Blades thinks of. The person that you, Susan and Misty want kicked out because you think she's a horrible person. This person who seemingly cares a lot more about children in our community than any of the other people that are on the school board thus far that I've heard. But there's more. Let's look at opening the schools with an understanding that the mental health of children must be a priority, considering the spike in suicides in school-age children. Leander said that last night. That let's look at opening the schools, doing more to open the schools. What is it? What steps can we take from this day forward, for that meeting last night, to get our schools open? What can we do? Because apparently, according to the stats, more children are dying of suicide and other unrelated issues than COVID-19. That it's looking like that the shutdowns for the schools in particular are costing children's lives and futures, not COVID-19. What is it that we need to look at as a school board in order to make that happen? Leander said that, not Marilyn, not who else? I wanted to know, Carrie, not Karen, who spells it funny, not Sean. Leander said that. This person that you want out of the school board. That's not all. Leander says, how about opening sports? Why are sports being played on district property on Sundays? You know that, right? You know that in the area here, they're playing soccer on the district property. In other words, the school property, the playgrounds that our children are on, where they cannot play. But other organizations are in the school. Yeah, you can come on. Yes, come on our school grounds and play your sports and have audiences and fans come watch. Have hundreds of people come watch you play soccer, but we're not going to open up our sports. And Leandra says, why not? Why are sports being played on our district property on Sundays, but schools are not allowed to have sports? And what about drama and other activities that kids love to do and is better for their overall mental health? Leandra brought that up. Not, I'm going to say it again, not Sean, not Carrie, not Karen, and not Marilyn. They apparently that's not important. And then there was just the added bonus of the discussion, accommodate those families who, in the end is really like the crux of everything. All right, so we have an understanding. This is Leandra who brings this up, that we have an understanding that there are a number of families that are scared. They are people that are fearful. I have something to say about that, but I'm not going to. But we have people that are fearful. They don't have to come to school. There's nothing in what Leandra said that, okay, once we open up sports, now the kids that are afraid or the parents that are afraid, now we have to force them to play sports or we have to force them to come. Leandra didn't say that either. So just to be clear, those of you that are going, well, we're not going to school because I'm afraid. Okay, don't go to school. She's saying accommodate those families who do not want to participate in school and sports. Accommodate. Again, not the words of a tyrant. Not the words of a communist, not the words of a Marxist, not the words of somebody that was trying to take over the U.S. government with a trip to Washington, D.C. with her girlfriends. Let's accommodate those families who do not want to participate in school and sports. Leander Blades said that, not Sean Youngblood, because he said nothing. Marilyn, who visited school sites, but apparently that was all she did. Carrie, I don't know what she said because nobody can remember. So obviously it wasn't memorable. And Karen, the president, you discussed how to join, how she joined another school board and did nothing at that school board either, apparently. And so there we are. So that is my spiel on that. Miss, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I want to call her a bunch of other names. I think that's the problem. Sorry, late to this party. Did we talk about the throngs of angry Instagrammers that showed up to protest against Leandra under direction of the hate page? It got a great shot of those keyboard warriors. No, but I can try to show it here. Let me see if I can bring it up. I will do my best. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got distracted with trying to find Nancy Green, but she just completely disappeared off. I've never seen somebody disappear off Facebook so quickly. Apparently, she doesn't want to see her maskless at at a party or at the river or at a BLM rally or a Black Lives Matter rally. She doesn't want to see in that is the reason she jumped off so quickly. Here is the huge. I'm going to find it. And Karen, you're telling me the one where it's the front of the school district, right? I just want to make sure I'm getting the right one. That picture, the huge crowd. I'm going to show the huge crowd. I just want to make sure that that's the right one. Just give me a yes or no. I'll wait a couple of seconds for you to show me. Yes. Okay, good. So let me, I'm going to take off this one, stop screen sharing. And here, okay, it's hard to count how many people are actually at this rally. We may need help. Hold on, I'm trying to find the right one. Why is it not showing up? Nope, wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, the tabs are labeled the same, so it's not as easy as you would think it would be. Hold on one second. This is an important picture because there's a lot of people that showed up for this rally, this protest. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm getting angry. One second. Let me try this again. Why can I not bring up the right one? Hold on. I'm going to do it. Stand by. It's going to happen. There it is. All right, here we go. Are you ready for this? See if you can count all the people. There's the crowd. This is how motivated these people are. Oh, this is where this is a huge, I'll zoom in so you can count better. Look at all those people that showed up. They're such wusses that they're great at calling people names of calling you a horrible person and a communist and all the names that they want to call you. They have no huevos. They don't show up. They don't come to the scene. There was not one person there, by the way. Misty was at the event, apparently the speech, and she was recording and doing a bunch of stuff. It's easy to get a bunch of keyboard warriors riled up when you post propaganda, but the actual follow through, yeah. It's just great. All right, I'm going to finish up with a little bit of Charlie Kirk, and I hope that all made sense. Right, and I'm hoping that I hit the point here that you have a number of school board members. I just want to get the number right. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 5 school board members who literally did nothing last night, and you had one that did more than all 5 of them put together on their best day, and that's the one you don't want to have in office. That is the one that you attack. And there is always this thing, right? I remember working at the police department, and those of you that don't know, I was with the Anaheim Police Department for 21 years, and you work with a lot of different people, and you have a number of people. So there was this one period of time, and I'm gonna hopefully explain this. So there's this period of time where I was a young rookie police officer, and I was working with a bunch of other really good cops that they loved to, fight crime and find drug dealers and burglars and auto theft suspects and weapons that were, illegally gotten, where people were driving around with weapons in some of the worst areas of our city in Anaheim. And so we just happened to be all working together. I can tell you got Chris and you had Don and you had Chuck and myself. And then you had a couple slugs that worked a little. We call them slugs, people that didn't want to do anything. And then we were, for whatever reason, we ended up in the canyon. So Anaheim Hills area. And Anaheim Hills is mostly a highfalutin area. There's a couple areas on Temple Street that used to be really bad. And near Atwood, and you had Atwood that was a pretty bad area, lots of shootings and drug and gang banger stuff, and we got involved in a couple shootings there and a couple shootings in areas that kind of crossed over between Anaheim and Placentia. I'm just trying to lay out the thing. And it's important. This is important because this is what we have happening in the school board right now, right? This is what may be happening. This may be happening to these people that they've gotten comfortable in their position in a school board or in a position of any position at any job. So you have a number of us, who was about 4 of us cops who really love to arrest people that were doing bad things. Bad people that were committing crimes. All right. And so in the Anaheim area, again, it's known as a little bit quiet area where most police officers at a certain time in their career, they would go, I'm going to work out in the canyon because not a lot happens. We know we have a couple areas that we could focus on, but we're going to leave them alone and we're going to spend our time in Anaheim Hills where the mansions are and the couple $1 million homes are, where not a lot happens. All right. So you got cops that would rather go to Anaheim Hills than be in downtown Anaheim or at the time, the west end of Anaheim and the south end of Anaheim, which had a lot of activity. And so the 4 of us go out there and we go, you know what, we're going to shake this area up. We're going to spend a lot of time in the Atwood area. We're going to spend a lot of time in the areas that kind of cross over between Placentia and Anaheim. And then we're going to spend a lot of time on Temple Street. And we were arresting 15 to 20 people a night with felony crimes of all types of crimes. We were out there. We were constantly, we'll be 10-15 with 3. We'll be 10-15 was en route to jail. So I'll be 10-15 with 3 arrestees. I'll be en route with 2 10-15s. I'll be en route with my arrestee and 55's arrestee. And we were doing this all night long. In the other areas that were actually busy, you had cops that weren't arresting maybe 2 people. And they actually came to us. The supervision came to us out there in the canyon and said, listen, you guys got to slow down. You're making everybody else look bad. You got to stop arresting people. And we looked at me going, but these people are auto theft suspects. They are child molesters. They are drug dealers. They are robbery suspects. It's not like we're going out there and arresting. and so you have these supervisors that go, and these other officers go, wait, those guys out there are making us look bad. This is why they don't like Leandra. And this is why they're not going to like Leandra going forward. And we, as the parents in the school district, we as parents in your school district, others, we want people that want to work their ass off and do the job that we've elected them to do. We don't want the lazy morons, the people that want to do something entirely different, which is not to help our children, want to then badmouth or diminish the job that somebody's doing when they're doing a good job. This is what's happening and potentially happening in our school board. Leandra comes in there and says, hey, I want to do this, this, and this, and I need you to support me in this because it's killing our children. Children are dying because they're doing nothing. And she's willing to bring that out. Well, no, we don't want to touch that. We don't want to know that that's happening. And so what's going to end up happening is they're going to start hitting Leandra hard. So I want to come out right now and put a light. Again, the evil hates darkness. Those people that are lazy hate light. They love the darkness. They live in the darkness. The people that don't want to do anything for our children, that want to just continue to be in that position and get the benefit, whatever those benefits are, I don't know what they are, of feeling that they're in power. Power is a very powerful thing, right? It's a very it sucks you in and you have this position of power. I'm a school board member, right? But Leandra comes in and goes, I'm a school board member, but I want to make sure that I want to make some change. And so when she's now the light, they hate the light and they will do everything they can to diminish the light. And that is really what's happening right now. So let's make sure that we keep that under, in focus, that we understand why this is happening to Leandra. It's not because she's any of the things that they're saying. It's because she is effective, that she is fantastic, that she does want to do a job for our children, that she wants our children to be educated, she wants our children to be healthy. Is she always going to make the right decision? I don't know. She may make a wrong decision or a decision I don't agree with, but that's okay because she's actually doing something. I want her to do something. I want her to make mistakes, and I want her to be successful. These people don't want her to do anything because it's going to take away what it is they do, which is obviously nothing. Sean said, I have nothing to report. Marilyn said, I visited a couple schools and it was great. Now I can go home to my cat or whatever she has. I don't know. All right. So now I think I might have went on a little bit of a tyrant there, and I'm so sorry, but this is my show and that's what I do. All right. So I'm going to now bring up a little bit of what Charlie Kirk has to say. This is really going to be the thing that I think you need to also understand why it is that you need to be focused. You need to be focused on the local government. And Charlie Kirk has a great argument for this. And I'm going to play two different clips. You're going to have a little patience with me as I navigate through these clips and make sure that I'm hitting the right ones. But this first one I'm going to bring to you is going to be talking about these boxes that he wants you to check. And I think they're important. Now I'm going to play, it's not very long, but I'm going to play a little bit for you that you need to follow this direction. You need to actually do this. I now know every school board member in my school. I didn't know it before last year, even as vice president of the PTA. I didn't know who the school board members are. I do now. And I do now for good reason, because I learned something today. I learned that I have one person who wants to work and four other ones that want to do shit nothing. And that I apologize, kind of, not really, for my words. They don't. I can see. We just saw. They go, I have nothing to report. And so we're going to bring this up. So here is why this is important. All right. So listen to what Charlie Kirk has to say. He was at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills with our great pastor, Pastor Jack Hibbs, who is a warrior in our community. And I'm going to share not only what Charlie Kirk has to say, but then why it's important. Jack Hibbs will follow up why it's important to follow your local races and your politicians, especially starting with the school board members. All right. So here we go. I'm going to mute my mic for a second and then bring up Charlie Kirk.
Real quick, this is such an important question. What can we do to ensure election integrity statewide and national levels, or at national levels?
So I have a slide that I want to put up that's called Check the Boxes. And I'm going to be doing this on my podcast, on my radio, and everywhere I speak, where I'm going to ask people, they say, what do I do? I'm going to ask, have you checked the boxes? And it's just 3 boxes. And so if we could get that slide up. Okay, it's somewhat to do with election integrity. But people say, what do I do? What do I do, Charlie? What do I do? Check these 3 boxes. Let's walk through them, all right? Number 1, list every one of your school board members tonight and put the names on your refrigerator, on your reminder list. And you pray for them daily. You try to get in personal contact with them. And you make a plan with other church members or friends. And you try to influence local government.
Yep.
I guarantee you very few people can tell me every single one of their school board members and what they're dealing with. Just check the box, right? It's Sally Sue Marie, it's Dave Smith, and it's, John Jones, and they're dealing with whether or not they should put the 1619 project in Chino Hills, and I took them out for coffee, and I took them out here. That's one of the boxes to check. It's easy. Are you currently doing that? The second thing is this, which people might say, well, this is weird. Why would I want to do that? Which is learn something new every single day about this beautiful country we live in. Remember this, that making yourself more aware of where we came from, the wisdom that preceded you, will make you stronger and better informed of how to deal with today. Guess what? We're not the first people ever to deal with tyranny. I know, it's amazing.
That's right.
There have been some unbelievably thoughtful people. So maybe it's I'm going to listen to a podcast every day. Maybe it's I'm going to read the Gulag Archipelago. Maybe I'm going to read Social Needs. Maybe it's any one of those things. But you're going to make a commitment like you're running on the treadmill that I'm going to learn. And that's a thing that we don't talk about enough, because if every person here every day dedicated themselves to 10 minutes of learning, all of a sudden unbelievable organic ideas are going to pop up. And then guess what? You're going to turn to your friends. You're going to be like, you know what's really happening here, right? This is liberal fascism. And fascism came from, it's really cultural Marxism. It came from Antonio Gramsci. And all of a sudden you're going to be educating everyone in your local area, and you're becoming alert, and the left will be kind of walking into walls and learn something new every day.
You know what I love?
I love what he said right there. I mean, especially a part about knowing the school board members. I was like so happy when he started with that particular part of it, because this has been so stinking important for me and my children. Again, I have 4 children. I just want it because some people come late. I want to make sure that you understand that I have 4 children in the Placentia Yorba School District. 7, 10, 14, 7, 12, 12. Oh my gosh, 7, 10, 12, and 14. In all of the school ages, I'm gonna have one in each one, an elementary school, 2 in elementary school in Golden next year, 1 in Tuffrey Junior High, and 1 in El Dorado. So I'm covering all the bases. Is the school board important to me and my children? Absolutely, going forward. When he talked about the things, being taught about the Black Lives Matter, or being the sex education all the way down to the kindergarten, to whether they're going to open the schools or have sports. All of these things are incredibly important to me, and they need to be incredibly important to you. And I'm telling you that it's not just those of you that have kids. Those of you that don't have kids, those of you that have nieces maybe in the school district, maybe those of you that have grandchildren in the school district, you need to be involved. And this is where it begins to start. And you get involved with the school district, you're going to get involved in the Chamber of Commerce. You're going to get involved in the city council. You're going to get involved in the mayor. And these decisions that you're going to make for our community are going to be extremely important for our children moving forward. And what Charlie had to say there is extremely important. And then the part about learning every day. Start reading about what's going on. I would read about the history of your community. They have almost every community has one of those books that talks about Brea or Yorba Linda or Placentia, about where, and you start there, and then you begin to learn more about politics and other stuff, and you get involved. I really get frustrated with people, and I'm sorry, I'm starting to go on another rampage here. I get really frustrated with people that say, I don't watch the news anymore. I don't pay attention to what's going on because it just makes me sad, and it just gives me anxiety. Now, you do need to take a break once in a while. I'm going to tell you, I take a break once in a while, and I go out and I just do other crap, right? I do other stuff, but you cannot stick your head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. You cannot pretend that that your involvement is not important. Your involvement is important. Go to Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, or watch Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, Jack Hibbs every Sunday and every Wednesday night. It just happened to be a Thursday night last night because of Charlie Kirk, but watch, or if not, go to and listen, because he not only talks about the Christian faith, he talks about local politics. Local politics is extremely important for your church to be talking to. All right, so let me just find the next little bit here, and this is why. Jack Gibbs is going to talk about why it's important, and then I'm going to be finished. I'm so sorry this is going so long, but people got me riled up, and that's just the way it happens. I'm so sorry. All right. And again, I'm not sorry. All right, so I'm gonna let this run just a little bit. This has to do with why it's important to have your attention onto what is happening to you locally, because you never know when you're going to need your local politicians to keep your business open, to keep your schools open, to keep your church open. And this is what Jack Kidd talks about in this particular part of it here. All right, listen up.
And so I run an activist organization, Turning Point USA, educational activist organization. And thank you. And I think we have some Turning Point USA leaders here somewhere. Raise your hand, or somewhere. Oh, awesome.
Over here.
And so I tell our student leaders this all the time. The best activists we have are the most informed and most well-read activists. Are the ones that they're like, what do I do on a Saturday night? I'm losing my country. You know what? I'm going to go reread the Federalist Papers. You might like, well, that's kind of nerdy. Exactly. You go back into the core roots of who we are. And then guess what? The Spirit will speak to you when you go through these other believers' writings, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what we do. I didn't realize this. And then all of a sudden a plan will formulate. And so that's why learning is so important. And to the listening your school board members, I want to make sure we get to this. As we are having this service right now, a fellow Calvary Chapel pastor, Pastor Mike McClure, in Calvary Chapel, San Jose, for just opening his church and worshiping Jesus, is facing $1.5 million in fines, potential jail time. Local government matters. And Mike McClure is one of the only guys that is staying open. I think the only one in all of San Jose, fellow Calvary guy. Why not every Calvary church in the country is standing by him? I don't understand. But this guy is a total hero. And so pray for Mike McClure tonight, because he is standing strong. And they are talking about potentially, I don't want to say anything confidential that he shared with us, but really aggressive measures against him. I think that's a fair way to say. But the reason they're not doing that to Jack is because Jack is so charismatic, but also it's because
that works against me.
That's right. but because Jack and you guys took local Chino government seriously years ago. That's why. It's because you, and that's
No,
the
you're
reason.
exactly correct. There was an interview taking place, and the interviewer asked, John MacArthur has had to fight for every moment since he opened up. How is it that you guys have been open and have been gotten through this time? Boy, are you lucky. And I said, excuse me, but luck had nothing to do with it. With all due respect to Grace Church and Pastor John MacArthur, he never taught his congregation to engage in the culture and civic light or responsibility. It was just something he just didn't want to do. And unfortunately, now they're coping with a very hostile local government, where on the other side for 30 years, this church has been praying for, contacting local government and county government. How can we pray for you? And getting involved in the elections and letting them know we appreciate a Judeo-Christian worldview value on this next vote or on this next issue. There's a relationship there. And look, it's the way that it is. And we can become winsome as believers to the world that's around us. And God will grant us grace and favor. It's vitally important.
Amen. And the last box that I encourage.
So yeah, I know there's another box and other stuff, but you're going to have to watch the entire thing. The event last night with Charlie Kirk and Jack Hibbs was amazing, and talked about a lot of stuff. It was really good. But I hope you understand why it's important to be involved in local government and to be involved in the school board and what's going on. And we need to protect Leandra because, again, as you can see, she's the only one who cared last night at the meeting. She's probably the only one who cares overall. And so let's make sure that we do not let the tyrants, the true tyrants. You got a teacher at Yorba Linda High School is completely out of control, using students to slander the person who beat her, because she's simply just a sore loser. And then you have the other people who are going to be a little bit offended by Leander, who actually wants to get something done. I've seen it before. And she's going to be shedding some light on some people that hate light. And we know that for sure. I hope this has been helpful. And I hope that I didn't get too distracted with some other things that were going on there. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. And I know, I'm sorry, it's been so long. It's a really long show for you guys to be paying attention. But a lot of you were on for a long period of time. So I do appreciate it very much. There was just so much I wanted to deal with. I've been hanging on to a few things because I wanted to get the response from the school, who gave me this response. One more time. The district declines your request to have Dr. Jim Elliser, Dr. Richard Din, or any other district school administrators appear on your show. The district does not provide comment on any personnel related matters. In other words, they don't care what a parent thinks. They don't want to tell you anything. I'm a parent. I want to know, and I want to talk to other parents about it. They work for us. We need to tell them, hey, no, you need to tell us. What are you going to do about a teacher that does this? What are you going to do about what's happening in our schools? What are you going to do about what's happening with children committing suicide? How are you going to be a part? Because you are a part of it, whether you like it or not. You are a part of it, and we need to hear from you. What are you going to do? That's not a good answer. This answer right now is not a good answer. I knew that was the answer I was going to get. Don't think that I didn't know that they were going to say, we're not going to talk to you. I knew they said they were not going to talk to me. I was hoping that somehow maybe they might be a little bit different, but no, I'm a parent. I want to know. All right, my friends. I love you guys so much. I love your children. My children. I just want to fight for them and be, do all I can to make sure that they get it. I fought to get the kids into the school. You don't know my story. My story is a little bit different than most people's who have children in our school. I fought to get my kids into school. I fought hard. It cost me tens of thousands of dollars, and I have a little bit more invested in than the desire to have my children educated by an educational system that cares about my kids and their well-being, not being used as pawns because somebody's upset because they lost an election. All right. So hopefully you'll join myself and Leandra and everybody else to make a difference in our community. All right, my friends. I love you. God bless. Take care.